Hello, good morning. I am Purkho Bheel, Research Associate at South Asia Research Institute for Minorities. You are watching with me an exclusive interview series hosted by SARIM. Today, we are pleased to have a very well-known personality with us, Mr. Bikash Das. He is Dalit activist and head of program Rights and Humanitarian Response Bangladesh. So welcome to SARIM, Bikash Das. Thank you so much for joining us for today's interview.
Thank you, and I'm really grateful to Sarim and also you for inviting me to this interview. And I'm really happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Could you tell us about yourself? Where were you born and what challenges have you faced so far?
Uh, Thank you. This is Bikash Kumar Das, and I am born in Bangladesh, and I am belong in Cobblers community also. And I am living over the southern part of Bangladesh. My district name is Sathkira. This is the greater mangrove forest area, and also the area of coastal belt also. So I'm living side of this area, and being a Dalit, I realized in each and every step in my life that how society is excluding us while discrimination based on caste and decent work remaining by Hindu caste customs. So this is a great opportunity for me that I have to get a chance to share my challenges also. As you asked in to me, what challenge I faced, that in Bangladesh, human rights not only are distended but also denied for historical and cultural reasons to Dalit communities. All these disruptions in Bangladesh are directly or indirectly linked to violence. Unfortunately, violence is a common feature of Bangladeshi society. In it, the worst sufferers are the outcast Dalits community peoples. In Bangladesh, about 10 million Dalits belongs to various community. Dalits have always been and still are subjected to intense socio-economic discrimination. They face discrimination in their access to basic services such as health, education, housing, government safety net programs, government and non-government services, and other services also. And if I say some challenges like that, remaining caste system in Hinduism, like Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, I faced barriers in every steps towards my life. In education, I found while I was primary student, there is some poem in our textbooks like Cobblers. That are my classmates identified me easily that I am from Cobblers, and they sometimes invited me to play Cobblers game. It was hatred for me. Even afterwards in secondary level, I felt, though I can confidently that my class roll should be first for my meritorious result, but teachers excluded me to be that, and my position was second or third. If I say about the political challenges, politically, Dalit community are excluded. There is no participation and representation in political decision-making process. So, another challenge we faced due to the customs remaining in society, the socially exclusion are remaining host, and peoples of Dalit community are suffering by this kind of exclusion also. I work for 20 years more for serving Dalit community peoples. I am also coordinating a national wide network called Bangladesh Dalit Council. Out of 10 points demands, some demands also fulfilled by government of Bangladesh, like that anti-discriminatory law as drafted, It is not enacted, but it is drafted, and 1% quota already reserved for Dalit students in higher education, and a special program for Dalit communities also taken by Department of Social Welfare in Bangladesh.
All right, it is really interesting. To go on to our next question, tell us about your community activities. When did you first become engaged in the community and why did you do so? Please tell us about one of the most inspiring time in your professional history.
Since my student life, while I was just past secondary level, then I engaged myself in the community activity. And this is a memorable story for me, also touchable and heart touching. If you want to know that story, have you have looked back a couple of decades before. That time, I never felt how the discrimination during my childhood sometimes found my classmates uses hated word, hey son of cobblers. But once I was gone for medical practice as practitioner with a renowned physicians, after a year of practice, some of my mates told me that, hey guys, as you a son of cobblers, your treatment will not accepted by the mainstream peoples. It is really heart touching for me. They already told me that you are untouchables. I got mentally shocked, and it became realization to me that how caste system devastating our social harmony, how it made me minority among minority. From there, I determined that I will fight against caste system. This is the story of my inspiration to become this professions.
Please tell us about the Pritran organization. When and why did you join that?
Yes, uh, Puritan as a human rights based and development organization, it also committed to recognition, establishment, and protection on the human rights of Dalit community peoples, and it's working at southern part of Bangladesh since 1993. I also joined from my very student life with that organization as a volunteer. That is 2000. So that from that time, I also engaged a long time journey like that. 16 years more I have uh, worked over there. Because these organizations is my beliefs, is my um, uh, how can I say that this is the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar always uh, um trying to mobilize the community peoples, Dalit community peoples, and also this organization doing such activities at southern part of Bangladesh. That is why I was a dream that I will uh, fight against this caste system, and that organization also doing this job, and I have that is why I have joined over there. After 16 years, I left that organization due to my some causes, and I have joined myself and another Dalit community leaded organization. That organization called is Dalit. The organization name is Dalit. I am currently working with this organization that is Dalit. It is also situated in Khulna, Greater Khulna city. Khulna is one of the division of Bangladesh, and it's also southern part of Bangladesh. So I am now working with Dalit. It's working also health, education, livelihood, food security, water and sanitation facilities, and various programs they have, and they are a nice job. They are doing a nice job for the Dalit peoples, and I am working uh, currently over there. Thank you.
It was quite interesting and appreciated. As a Dalit activist, what do you think are the major issues that Dalit groups face in South Asian region?
First of all, I would like to say about this that exemplary leadership crisis also um, problems of South Asian Dalit groups. I would like to say that there is no political activist. Only we know some of the political activists in India, that Mayavati, and some of political leaders in Nepal also. But still, we are not seeing such leaders in Bangladesh. So I think this is a uh, really a problem like that leadership. So I think it is the first crisis of these of Dalit peoples. Second one is lack of separate minority or Dalit commission, except India. We know India has a CT and OBC commission, but in Bangladesh and other country still it is not in place. Uh, that is why we are fighting to we are raising our voice to our government to establish a separate minority commission or Dalit commissions. Third one is lack of integrated development approach by the state. I think it's another challenges or issues for us. Um, Even fourth one is that we are facing right now a identity crisis. Identity crisis like that, you know. Um, uh, for example, the we are calling us we are Dalit, but some of the cases that government are not giving recognition about the name of Dalit. They want to say that backward community. So like that, there is so many of Dalit community also living in country. So how we can say the separate name like that cobblers, sweepers, fisher folk, etc. That is why you are calling us that we are the peoples of Dalits who are facing untouchability crisis, untouchability. So, but some state are not trying, willing to say or willing to tell the word is Dalit. So we think that is why you are facing some times identity crisis. Another one is under we are facing as a major issue that it's a global issue also modern slavery. The community peoples are engaging themselves in the slaves jobs and also society also creating pressures that you are cobblers, you have to do it, you have to uh, you have to do the clean the tanner, you have to do the making the shoe or polishing the shoe. Others job is not for you. This is the clear answer our from the mainstream people. So that is why the modern slavery is the another issue, major issue. Uh, Others issue, if I say politically neglected, like that the reservation in local governments or national governments, it is still absent in Bangladesh. Some of country also have, like that Nepal or India, but is still not in Bangladesh. So that is why where we want to say the it is another issue. Economical exploitation, it's a major issue because the corona pandemic and COVID-19 pandemic also induced this vulnerability of the Dalit peoples. They are losing their job, they are losing their income source, they are uh, uh, losing their source of uh, others jobs. So this is the another crisis like we are facing. And culturally under privileged or under development, you know, the Dalit community, they are the most sometimes they are uh, are practicing a superstition, but they're thinking it is their culture. So I think it's a these are the major issue. It is the South Asian region.
As you are becoming a lawyer, how would you respond to South Asian countries' failure to comply with international conventions that are critical components of the legal and normative framework governing minorities' rights? Which laws do you believe should be repealed?
Some of international convention, the UDHR, that is Universal Declaration of Human Rights, CARD, Convention on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. As per this declaration, each and every state should be deployed an effective anti-discrimination law separately. But integration of Dalit friendly laws, it is really a challenge that are critical. We have to think about that, and government and the state should be think about this. And uh, from our perspective in Bangladesh, there have some changes the Bangladesh government trying to include Dalit issue in development plan and national budget for uplift of Dalit community people's lives and improvement of their livelihoods. So these are the, I think these are the area of interventions that government needed to concentrate to deploy or enact anti-discrimination law, set up a minority or Dalit commission separately to have a better access to justice.
To you, what exactly does social exclusion and prejudice entail? Is there anything that can be done to combat it? What are the most difficult hurdles you face as a human rights activist? And how do you deal with such stumbling blocks at the work?
From my perspective, social exclusion and prejudice entail what made society unstable, intolerant, and it devastating the social peaceful harmony. And I think it is really can be combat. And if we build awareness among the society and mainstream peoples, cultural development and social harmony building can be tools for combat sex prejudice and social exclusion. And most difficult hurdles what we face as human rights activists, as it is really tough that social power structure is not favor for Dalit community peoples. Lack of access to power structure, Dalit people's voice not heard by mainstream. So, in this regard, uh, I think advocacy, policy advocacy, media advocacy, awareness to people who hold caste customs basically, and inclusive service delivery institutions and service delivery mechanisms needed to in place for Dalit peoples, and all estate should be accessible for also Dalit people. This is how the blocks can be broke by this way.
This is very informative. Why should the Dalits bear the full weight and responsibilities for challenging the caste system?
Yes, uh, I think Dalit people is not alone to take over the responsibility, because Dalits not made caste system in society. Only 2 or 3% so-called Brahmins peoples they made it, but it suffers millions of peoples in South Asian regions. So we should extend our collective efforts to end caste discrimination.
Okay, thank you. What kind of healthcare and social service facilities does the government provide for Dalits? What effect do jobs quota have on the economic life of Dalits? Why are the population's employment rates so low?
Actually, for healthcare in Bangladesh, from our country perspective, we can say, though constitutions have equal rights for all human beings will be treated as equally. In our constitution, it has clearly stated in 27 and 28 and 29 uh, section. But what is reality? If we look in healthcare services, Bangladesh government have a unique structure to provide healthcare service in community level and community doorsteps. They have a community clinic, but still it is really surprising for us that Dalit peoples also not are getting proper treatment from there because of like that the, they are the untouchables, Dalit peoples. So some of the clinic are situated in the higher caste communities area. That is why Dalit people's movement are restricted some area. Governments have a good intention to provide healthcare support, but due to social superstition or prejudice, before I said, some of Dalit peoples are not receiving proper healthcare support from there. This is one kind of thinking. Another thinking, yes, for the social service facilities. Bangladesh governments recently, I can say, they have a good plan that each and every sub district should be coverage 100% social safety net program, like that old age allocation, maternity allocation, and others, widow allocation, others allocations. And it is also Bangladesh government has a unique policy in Department of Social Welfare. They are doing a nice job. They have a special program for Dalits, especially safety net program. Under the safety net program, they are providing education support like that is stipend for Dalit student, old age for old Dalit man or women, and training, skill development training for Dalit youth. So this is the service has good, but due to social discrimination, actually hot happening, the Dalit peoples are not getting proper access over there because the politically biasedness and social influential groups are trying to include others non-Dalit peoples within this support. This is our observations. Another support, Bangladesh government, our honorable Prime Minister also declared 80%, 80% quota for sweepers community to have a job in cleaning, basically in municipality level or city corporation area. Hot happening really. The real sweepers are excluding day by day from this quota to get this quota. Other non-sweepers or non-Dalit community peoples also giving or taking this job. Somehow they are most influential. They have some um, some things I like that. How can I say? I don't know, but this is the some of likes of money are giving, or they have money they're giving and they are taking job. So this is another thinking, but actual thinking is that that's sweepers peoples are not getting proper access this quota system, but government have declared for 80% quota. So these our governments are doing some service for Dalit peoples, and I think what you say, what effect do job quotas that I am giving. I already given you. Uh, there is only 80% quota for only sweeper colony, sweeper community, but other Dalits they for other Dalits they have no any quota in right now. And you have another question: why are the population's employment rates are so low? I think its reasons is migration, climate change impact, and modern slavery, lack of social acceptance, poor education rate, poor technical skill, or poor access to resources. These are the reasons of low rate of employment of these peoples. So this is my thinking. These are the reasons.
This is really interesting and informative. How pervasive is denial of caste prejudice in the current era? What is the scope of its impact on contemporary society and politics? Is there also Dalit awareness?
Yes, if it is denied, that is caste system is denied by society, it will bring a positive change in society. And politics, even Dalit people's civic rights and their lives also. So Dalit peoples are not much aware about their political rights. We have seen right now. So I think Dalit people should have a aware about their political rights, and they have to acquire the access to decision making process. They have to be more aware about this. Without the power access to power structure, there the this kind of discrimination will not eliminate from the society.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now, moving our other question. In Bangladesh, what occupations are open to Dalit women? What opportunities do you see for Dalit women today and in the future?
Yeah. First of all, look, there is two dimensions in our country. One is rural women and another is urban women. So for rural Dalit women, most of all are engaged in domestic work. About 40 to 50% engaged rural agricultural as labor. For urban, sweeping job only are they are doing in urban areas. They have no other options to get there the job. That is why the some of urban Dalit women also engaging themselves within this job, that is sweeping jobs. So these are the real scenario. But I think they have a good opportunities if they can get a skill development training and income generating activities support and soft loan or capital support from the government. This kind of support will bring a significant changes in their lives, basically for women.
What does the future holds for the Dalits in South Asia? As a result of a series of events that has yielded no substantial results.
Changes also coming gradually, I think, in South Asia region, especially because now we can say Dalit. It's a itself a name to be unity or to be made a greater unity within the South Asian region uh, of all Dalit community peoples within one umbrella. So it's a great opportunity for all of us so that Dalit community leaders or Dalit leaders can be thought about this. The unity first. So Dalit this name they can unite within an umbrella in South Asia also, and as a result of a series of events like that, Dalit each and every state, some of Dalit leaded organization or Dalit civil society organization are trying to serve the Dalit community peoples or trying to raising their voice capacity. You know, in India, I know about the UNA NCDHR. You know, Paul Diwakar. In Bangladesh, also some of Dalit activists. In Nepal, also there is some of Dalit activists. Um, in Pakistan also. So I think if they trying to work together, if they if they extend their great efforts collectively, I strongly believe that the Dalit peoples will get their rights, will enjoy their entitlement, and in Bangladesh, recent local government election, you know, I would like to give an example. The situation is how the situation is gradually improving. Recent Bangladesh, local government elections in happening, and some of Dalit contested as member, and in some cases it has found they are winning, they won, and some of they are not uh, winning, but they have a confidence. Their level of confidence are increasing gradually. So I think this is a great opportunity for us that if we can get them within an umbrella, within a platform, it is really possible for us to establish Dalit people's rights.
Thank you. In today's world, what function does caste hierarchy play? What power structure were formed by slavery and how are they now affecting opposed communities? What have you seen or experienced that might be representation of the caste system at work? How do you feel about this?
Actually, caste system made by Manu Samhita in Indian subcontinent, you know, the origin of the caste system in the way it has developed up to the present day. It can be fixed to the beginning of the Christian era. Before that, we do have mentions here and there of its existence, but very likely it is only from the beginning of this era, which is the born Varna or caste template takes solid roots in the Indian subcontinent. If we look in the Manu Dharma Shastra, you know, written approximately between 200 BC or 200 AD, something like that. The system is developed and manifested in all its ideological strength. Manu states that the four Varnas or four sects are divinely ordained from the very beginning. Quoting from the Rig Veda, Manu says that from the mouth of Purush or male person, the self-existent on came the Brahman. From his arms came the Kshatriyas.
Thank you. What message would you send to the new generation of the activists fighting for Dalit rights and development?
This is my message. As you know, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, a father of Indian Constitution, who told that educate, organize, and agitate. I also agreed with these words of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. We have to educate our peoples, organize our community peoples, and we need to fight against caste system. This is my message for all of the Dalit community in this South Asian region.
Thank you for your answer. How can SARIM and your organization collaborate to advance the rights of persecuted minorities in South Asia?
Okay. Yes. Uh, SARIM and our organization jointly can arrange international conference with participation of state authority. Research, SARIM and our organization can jointly do a research and make grassroots researcher. We have to make grassroots researcher first. Because of that, the scenario of rural areas and remote areas, the very much vulnerable. So we have to make researcher among these targeted communities like the Dalit communities, so that they can realize their problems, they can find out their real situation, and they can they can share their findings with the local authority. So SARIM as a very much research experts organizations, they can do it, and also our organization can assist with this SARIMs, with this intervention. And for my last recommendation to SARIM, if it is possible, we have to form a parliamentarian caucus for ensuring political access of Dalit people. So SARIM and our organizations and others Dalit leaded organization or platform can do their joint efforts to advocacy with parliamentarians, so that they can sensitize much for Dalit peoples, and they can raising the voice of Dalit peoples in parliament. And we have to work about this to form a parliamentarian forum in the South Asian region.
Appreciate your interest. Finally, I would want to thank you for your time and invite you to a conference that will be held soon after the pandemic has passed. Would you want to join us and perhaps visit Pakistan?
Okay, I would like to share a message that in 2012, I also visited Lahore. I also participated over there and received a B.R. Ambedkar Award also from their organizations. So, if you invite me, it will be my second chance to visit in Pakistan.
Thank you very much.
Take care. See you.